So I've already tried this 3 times and it just stops filming. Anyway, I'm going to talk about dimensions because I haven't really thought properly about how I'm going to explain special relativity to you. Anyway, so you start at 0 where you have a point. And you can differentiate points from each other by using a set of numbers to describe them. I'm sure you're familiar with that process. You can use any number of numbers. That kind of thing, in order to pinpoint the location of your point. And this kind of defines the kind of notion of other dimensions. It means like it's a space for all of the different points to exist. Now this brings us to the first dimension. Now, one-dimensional object is a line. Yeah, you can see I've joined up some points there. So a line is a set of points, and you can describe a line by explicitly writing out all of the points in it, or you can describe it using a function such as y equals mx plus c, which is the set of all possible straight lines that go through the point C on the y-axis and have a gradient of m. But this is a line in 2D space. So, right, so moving on to the second dimension, this is where you can get between different lines. So a line makes you able to get between different points, and then a surface kind of thing makes you able to get through different points, or you can see it like something like that. Now you can see that this surface is curved in 3D space. However, if you're on this surface, you don't necessarily know that 3D space exists, only that, I don't know, I guess like if you're from a different coordinate system, then you can see that you have different tangent spaces, and these are kind of locally accurate, but obviously when you move to different points on the surface you have to change your tangent space. Okay, and the third dimension is when you move between different surfaces. There's 2 surfaces there. To get from one to the other, you have to hop through third dimension. And you can think of 3D space as kind of a set of like layers of a film or tracing paper with different pixels filled in, and you can kind of overlay them, and then the overall pattern kind of comes out. So got something like that, which you can just overlay one on top of another and then the object comes out, or you might have different orientations and then you'll get a different object. So you can have different arrangements of 3D space, and to travel between these, say this is the time axis. Well, this is all of my arrangements of 3D space. Well, in order to get from one to the other, you have to travel through time. So basically, time is the 4th spatial dimension. which makes sense. It couldn't really be anything else. So now you can come on to the idea of the fifth dimension. So imagine, a universe is, space and time. So you go from the end through all the arrangements of space to, start from the beginning, obviously, not the end. Beginning through all the arrangements of space right to the end, if there is one. So this is a film with lots of frames, and time orders the frames, right? So you could imagine potentially a different universe where the frames are rearranged. Maybe just 2 of them are swapped, maybe all of them are jumbled. And basically things might not make causal sense in that kind of universe, which is kind of a depressing thought. But alternatively, you could take into account special relativity, which means that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light, nothing with mass. So when you go to a different reference frame, say from this one, you can see my X, Y, Z axes there, to, it looks the same, but it's moving at a constant velocity. That means that these 2 frames perceive like different sizes of space and time. So effectively, when you start moving, you have kind of travelled through the 5th dimension in a way. So by accelerating, you move into a different universe, which is a bit of a weird idea. It's one that I've come up with myself, so it's not really, just whatever you think of it, I haven't done general relativity yet, which is the one that deals with acceleration. So, this is just my take at the moment. I think that's pretty much all I had to say. If there's anything that needs clarifying, then please ask me. Thanks for watching.